Welcome to your midweek Barbados Today evening news update for Wednesday, October the 24th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, a young man said to be in his 20s is the island's latest road fatality. The man, whose name had not been given up to news time, was involved in an accident on Hastings Main Road. He succumbed to his injuries at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Acting Police Public Relations Officer Sergeant Michael Blackman updated reporters at the scene.
On arrival, with the assistance of 3 female nurses from a medical facility in the nearby area, they assisted a young male who had sustained injuries as a result of the fall. The young male was taken to QEH by ambulance, where upon arrival, he succumbed to his injuries.
Police are also continuing investigations into a 3-car smash-up which occurred at Graham Hall Christchurch that left 6 people nursing injuries. Meanwhile, 2 people were injured in an armed robbery which occurred at Richmond Road, St. Michael around 12:08 p.m. According to lawmen, a gunman robbed 2 women of a handbag, money, phones, and jewelry of an unestimated value. Now, anyone with information that can assist police investigations should contact the Black Rock Police Station at 147-7505 or 7500. Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477, Police Emergency at 211 or any police station. In other news this Wednesday, it was a traumatic evening at the Court Registry this evening as 17 workers were laid off as part of the government's restructuring exercise. Veteran court marshal, supervisor, and shop steward for the National Union of Public Workers, Bernadette Williams, who was on the verge of tears, told Barbados Today the process was badly handled.
Brought down in tears. Literally, the persons that were retrenched, they're brought down, and then the staff, co-workers, they're brought down too. I myself, this morning, when I was told about my marshals, it is after 3, I haven't eaten anything for the day since I came to work this morning. It has taken my appetite from me. I have no kind of appetite. It hurts. It hurts very, very much. It's very, very sad. I'm so sorry for, all the people that have been retrenched. Like some of the marshals, they have the 3 of them, 2 females and a male. The 2 females, they have 2 young children. They have 2 young children, and I think one of them, she might have had a mortgage or so too. Yes. Actually, I had to come out of the meeting because I was told one of the young ladies was out here in her car crying.
And staff at the state-owned Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation was today warned of imminent layoffs. Chairman of the board, Melba Smith, however, said discussions will be held with the Barbados Workers Union before any action is taken. She assured that staff who are not members of the union will not be treated any less favorable and pledged that those who will be affected will be treated fairly and in accordance with the terms outlined by the Prime Minister Mia Mottley. At the nearby Barbados Water Authority headquarters, BWA Chairman Leo Dean Worrell was meeting with her more than 700 employees to discuss planned restructuring. She told the workers the board was mindful that the restructuring exercise must be done in consultation with the union and will be guided by the principles of fairness and natural justice. Meanwhile, the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados says it was not included in negotiations on public sector layoffs. C2SAB President Edwin O'Neill told Barbados Today that while there were discussions at the level of the social partnership, C2SAB was left in the dark.
Keynote to a trade union's engagement is about negotiations. One side puts its position, the other side puts theirs. They may be poles apart, but if you're going to be negotiating, you're negotiating towards the center. An announcement at the social partnership does not constitute negotiation. It does not replace negotiation. Okay? So that's all I'm saying. That if you are going to be treating to the trade union, there has to be a framework, there has to be a body which allows for exchange of ideas and positions and alternatives, as opposed to an announcement as this is the way it shall be.
In sports now, Centurion Shea Hope hit a last ball boundary to help West Indies tie the second one-day international against India, needing 5 runs on the final ball to chase down West Indies' target of 322. Hope, who made a total of 123, got 4 off Indian paceman Umesh Yadav as the tourists ended on 321 for 7 in their 50 overs.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley of Trinidad and Tobago today slammed critics whom he said had been spreading rumors that his administration had turned down offers from CARICOM countries in the aftermath of the flood situation caused by torrential rains over the past few days. Rowley said his CARICOM colleagues were simply acknowledging that Trinidad was experiencing much difficulty after the heavy rains, and they were prepared to stand with the country if they could. He maintained it was not about money. The Trinidadian leader insisted that the country was coping very well. And on the international scene, in the United States, police intercepted suspected bombs mailed to former U.S. President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and other high-profile Democrats, as well as to CNN, in what New York officials branded an act of terrorism. More in this report from Reuters Television.
What we saw here today was an effort to terrorize.
Political tensions roaring to a new level Wednesday after a series of suspected bombs were mailed to the D.C. home of former President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton's residence in the New York suburb of Chappaqua, and other top Democrats. Earlier this week, one was found at the home of billionaire George Soros. A suspected explosive device resembling a pipe bomb also discovered Wednesday at CNN's New York City offices.
Responding officers identified a device that appeared to be a live explosive device.
The building had to be evacuated, the news network's anchors forced to continue their coverage from the street. Reuters correspondent Jonathan Allen was there.
CNN, a nonpartisan news organization, but nonetheless attacked by critics on the right as being partisan, including the president himself, who calls it fake news, of course. So what seems to be a link here is that all the recipients so far are in some ways criticized by figures on the right.
CNN President Jeff Zucker laying the blame at President Trump's feet on Twitter, quote, "There is a total and complete lack of understanding at the White House about the seriousness of their continued attacks on the media. The president, and especially the White House press secretary, should understand their words matter." President Trump, who often bashes Democrats at his rallies, softened his tone Wednesday and joined politicians on both sides of the aisle calling for unity.
We have to come together and send one very clear, strong, unmistakable message that acts or threats of political violence of any kind have no place in the United States of America.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.